Hi everyone!
This is the Ugly
Ducklings!
We are your hosts, Dobrý
And Hanan.
Today we are doing our show in English for the first time. I'm not sure if we can, speak it well. But
We'll try our best.
We'll try. Today's topic is...
How did we learn English?
Yes, I'm not sure if everyone's interested in it, but yeah, it's a topic that I've been wanting to talk about, so that's why I chose this.
Yeah, in Japan, not everyone speaks English.
I don't know if you know about it. I would say it's still rare for even for younger generation to be able to speak English. Maybe in Tokyo and center cities, but most of the countryside, I would say people even don't. I mean, I feel like people even haven't seen any foreigners before.
That's possible. Yeah, I lived in countryside, and these years, I see a lot of tourists, but before that, I have never seen.
Yeah, that's true.
So we basically have no opportunity to use English or learn English if we lived just normal life in Japan.
And it's such a homogeneous country, so everyone we see is basically either we look Japanese or people from other Eastern Asian countries, and we don't even recognize that they're from other countries. So that's how our country is currently, and that's why we wanted to explain it to you guys. I hope you guys can enjoy this episode. I'm not sure, we'll try.
So we will start from our childhood and proceed up till high school and now present.
Yeah. Okay. When was the first time you encountered the situation where you have to use or where you learned English for the first time in your life?
So one thing I need to mention before I start my story is my mom really wanted me to learn English.
Okay.
And she really put so much effort, time and money
She's rich.
on me to be able to speak English. Yeah, I'm the only child, so maybe that's why it was possible.
That makes sense.
Okay, so I lived in Osaka up till 5 years old. And it is the second most biggest city in Japan. Yeah. So they had a lot of international kindergarten, and I went one of them since maybe even before I turned 1 year old.
Okay.
Yeah. And I learned English there until 4 or 5 years old. So basically, I started to learn English when I was 0.
Okay, that
was my situation.
So everyone spoke English basically in the kindergarten. Is that teachers spoke English to you?
Teacher was not Japanese.
Oh, okay.
So I think she was French or American or something. So they taught us in English, and I remember I was doing flashcards in English, car, tomato, potato, blah 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 blah. And
vocabularies.
Yeah. And there was one manager who was Japanese, but other than that, all the teachers were non-Japanese speaking teachers. Yeah, so there's a Kansai Ben in Osaka. It's how do you say, Hogan?
Like a dialect.
But I only spoke English, so I never learned how to speak Osaka Ben, Kansai Ben.
But you were also speaking Japanese at home, right?
Yeah. My mom and dad are Japanese, so...
But only at the kindergarten you were speaking English. That's cool.
Yeah, that was my childhood.
Okay.
So I feel like I speak better English when I was little.
Really? Oh, that's nice though.
How about you?
Me? So this is the memories that I don't remember quite well. But so my parents got married. I'm their first child, right? I have 2 younger brothers, but I'm the oldest one. And my parents got married when they were in college. They were only like 21, 22. So we were basically, because me and my younger brother, he is 1 year younger than me, so we grew up together, right? And we were basically raised in the university because they were going there every day.
They were still in university.
I mean, like, we were put in a kindergarten kind of place in Sapporo because we were born there, and they were studying there as well. But most of the time, my mom would take us to the university. And the thing is, my mom was studying language. She was majoring like some, I don't know how it's called, international media or something like that. And the topic, the thesis that she was doing was how children learn their first language, like mother tongue. Like, is there any difference between the languages or something like that? And she was studying it with her friends who spoke other languages like Arabic or English probably. And she was also doing that with a lot of international students. So we were kind of raised in a, international environment in that way.
So you were brought into the community.
Yeah, I remember. I remember going to the university because I really liked the animals when I was little, and there was like this agriculture / veterinarian department there, and there was like a lot of cows or like horses, and I really loved going in there. So that was the memory I do remember, but I don't remember the part where I was raised by so many people, so many college students at the time. But I was in like that kind of abnormal situation environment. So I would say I was used to seeing like people from other countries from very young age.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean like I was speaking English, right? Yeah. And then when I was like 4 or 5 years old, we started going to, me and my brother, younger brother, we started going for like this English eikaiwa classes every week. Because I was doing yoga in the same place afterwards, so, and we found out that there was like English courses as well. Yoga, yeah, there was like a
3-4 years old doing yoga.
Yeah, I was doing that like till 7 years old, I think. And there was an English teacher who was teaching English courses to kids right before the yoga class, so we were there. But yeah. I do remember that course. So we were exposed to English from very young age. Yeah, that was my childhood.
Good.
I would say.
Nice.
Yeah.
So should we proceed our chapter?
Yeah. Elementary school.
Okay. So for me, after 5 years old, we moved to Shizuoka Prefecture and the countryside, and there wasn't any international like kindergarten or elementary school. So I went to normal public schools. But besides that, I went to eikaiwa, the English school after school, and not even like the communication, but I also learned grammar that we are supposed to learn in junior high. I started to do the grammar from maybe 3rd grade or 4th grade. And there's this like called ENG, which is English test
that we have in Japan.
Like
only valid
like
for
TOEFL
Japanese people.
Or TOEIC, but it's only for Japanese.
Yeah, and it's people take it because it's useful for entrance exam for high schools.
Yeah.
That's why they do it, but I don't think you can use it for applying in any other country.
No. It's only for Japan. It's so useless. I spent a lot of time there studying it.
Okay.
So I was studying for that, and I took Nikyu, grade 2.
Wait,
which is like
which is the easiest one?
5. And the hardest is 1.
Okay.
And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 5, 4, 3, pre 2, 2, pre 1, 1. That's the grade that you can take. And grade 2 is, I think,
the 3rd hardest one.
Yeah, And it's approximately graduating high school.
Oh, like that level.
And first grade of high school, maybe. Like 9th or 10th
But
grade.
still high school level, right? Japanese high school.
Yeah, Japanese high school, of course. Japanese high school level. And I
How old were you?
10, 11. 5th grade.
That's
I took
cool.
in 5th grade. So I loved studying English. And yeah, I was confident in speaking English. Because we had this English class even in public school like once a week. But it was like just basic conversation like, hello, how are you? How do you do? And I was one of the best students there in English, so I was like so confident, so proud. Hey, you can ask me everything, and maybe I was even better than teachers.
Really? And it was only from like the 5th grade, right? I think government changed the syllabus or something at the time. But they have English classes way before in elementary school now. I think, in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
So some improvement. So
yeah, I guess.
Yes, so that was my basic how did I learn English when I was elementary school. But besides that, I went to the US twice for participating in summer camp there.
Okay.
So it's for kids in the US, and I remember it was held in Pennsylvania. So many kids from like Berkeley, New York or Pennsylvania joined the camp. And it's like, there's this American camp for children for like 3 months or 2 months. And I just participated like 2 weeks of it.
Okay.
So I didn't really enjoy it because I went last 2 weeks of the event. So they were like
people are making friends already.
I was just joining at last minute. So I wouldn't say I had so much fun there, but still I was exposed to native English environment. So I think I learned a lot during that summer. I went there when I was 4th grade and 5th grade.
Oh, okay. Twice. That's cool.
And that's it.
That's it for the elementary school? I honestly don't have anything to say about my elementary school besides the, once in a week classes at public school, because I also went to the public school for elementary school. Did I do anything else? I don't think so. I was just, just a normal kid at that time.
That's how normal Japanese kids would be. Right?
Yeah. What about middle school?
Middle school. So since middle school, I entered IB, International Baccalaureate program. And it's basically bilingual program. So I did most of the subjects in English besides PE and Japanese.
Oh, PE was also in
Japanese, because there weren't any English-speaking PE teachers.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I did like math, history, science, English, of course, every subject in English since junior high till end of the high school, so 6 years. So that was the biggest event that happened in my life in terms of studying English. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you tell me this story of like you taking the mock exam kind of thing for university entrance exam, and because it was all in Japanese, you couldn't even answer or you couldn't even understand what they were asking, right? It was really funny.
So it wasn't an international school. So it was in the Japanese like normal high school. Just one class was the IB program. So we all had to take the mock exam, which was like intended for Japanese high school students. And I didn't even know what is like carbon dioxide in Japanese, like something like that. And so I took so much time comprehending and translating every word in Japanese into English. And I was good in science, but I took like 20 out of 100 in that mock exam. I had no idea what was going on. And that was the point I was like, I'm not going to Japanese university, I'm gonna fail for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll be going to like somewhere abroad. Yeah.
That makes sense.
And like 2/3 of our classes are in foreign countries now.
Oh, okay. And you guys had a lot of, people who grew up in other countries as well, right?
Yeah.
They were mostly Japanese people or like half mixed race?
Half mixed. Half are Japanese
Mhm.
who were doing IB since like elementary school or even kindergarten.
Mhm.
They were doing an immersion program, bilingual program.
Mhm.
And other half was even their parents are speaking English or they have lived in another country.
Mm.
So I think I was rare who went to Japanese public school and then entered from junior high.
I have a question.
Yes.
What's the difference between IB schools and international schools? Because do you guys have like a different curriculum or?
So IB is not equal to international school because IB is like a name of the program and it's not about the language.
Okay.
We even have Japanese IB as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
Or I think it's from Switzerland. So maybe they had like
that's
French
what I heard.
IB or something like that. IB is like a program that intending students to not only gain knowledge but be a good human being.
Yeah,
So-
I get it because like I hear a lot of story from you about having classes where you have to discuss about some certain topics or you have to write an essay for like several pages.
Yeah. So they want us to be multilingual and multicultural, educated people. We have like volunteering programs or discussions, etc. And our school was doing that in English, so it was like bilingual IB program.
Oh, okay.
And the borderline between international school and not international school is if you can get the Japanese high school diploma.
Oh.
So it's different. Our school was Japanese high school, so I have both the IB certificate and Japanese diploma certificate of high school. But if that IB program was in the international school, that's also possible. Then you can get the IB diploma and that school diploma, but you cannot get the Japanese high school certificate.
Wait, that means if you want to take an entrance exam for Japanese colleges, you'd have to take like the certificate exam for
I
high
think
school
so, if they require. Or you enter from like foreigner.
Yeah, there's like a certain specific
Special,
entrance exam, that's true. Interesting, I didn't know. That's cool.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Okay. My middle school,
Okay.
nothing. Nothing special for like in terms of English.
Were you
learning.
interested in like English or American culture? Like you listen to music, watch movies?
So the thing is, like, I started playing basketball when I was in the second grade in elementary school. And since then, the only thing that I was doing in my life was either studying or playing basketball, right? And I actually went to this middle school where I think it's owned directly by the government or something. It's or by this university, this teaching university, where they train college students to be teachers. So we had a lot of college students who want to be teachers in the future and who want to have like this practical skills at schools. We had like hundreds of them in one semester, and in each class we would have like 10 those college students teaching us. And I went to that kind of middle school because they were teaching, I would say, much better than normal public schools. And also they were including a lot of like new technologies so that they can try if they want to use it in the future for the other public schools too. So I actually took an entrance exam to enter the middle school because I wanted to study more. And the middle school that was like right in front of my house was like really famous for having low grades and everything, so I didn't want to go there.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons. So our English classes might have been much better than the ones that people in the public schools have been taking. But other than that, I wasn't doing anything else. I was just playing basketball in middle school too. And I couldn't speak English, by the way. I said like I was, doing eikaiwas and everything, but I wasn't really.
Okay.
Yeah, high school.
How is like a normal teaching system in Japanese junior high, the
English, I think we usually have like this one Japanese teacher who were trained to be an English teacher. And basically for our year in my middle school, he was teaching that every day, right? In English classes. And I would say like once a week or twice, 3 times in a month, we would have LT teacher, like the native teacher who can speak English. And we would do like some short conversations with them or something like that.
Okay.
But it was basically the same as the one that we had in elementary school. It was just that we started learning about grammars and we started learning like taking memos and everything, because in elementary school I think it's mostly like interactions and having fun in English or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So from middle school I would say we really start learning English as a language.
Yeah.
But other than that, nothing special. And should I talk about high school?
Let's go to high school.
Yeah. So until my senior year, I would say my first senior year, because I did it twice. I'll explain why later. I wasn't doing anything special for English language either. In high school, I think almost in every high school, they have this curriculum where we have 2 different subjects for English classes.
I went to normal public school.
Yeah, I also went to public high school, by the way. One is for communication. It's called Communication English. I mean, we had like 2 different textbooks for some reasons, but one is more, I think it's more meant to be able to be speaking English, and the other one is just grammar, English grammar, something like that.
Okay.
But there wasn't really a big difference, honestly. And yeah, we had more English classes than middle school, and I think that was it. And then at the end of so our Japanese school starts from April and ends in March.
Yeah.
Right? I was in the basketball team till my senior year, till June.
Yeah.
Because that's when we had the last biggest competition in our state. And then right after that, I retired from the basketball team, right? And a few months after that, I actually went to the United States to study abroad. I was an exchange student for a year. In Minnesota State in the States. And I was basically going to public high school as a senior student there as well. So that was like the big time for me, like that's when I basically learned how to speak English, and I learned like American cultures and everything. I was staying at the host family houses. I had 3 plus some like a few weeks of staying at someone's houses, but 3 different host families in a year. And they would take me to like, I don't know, Thanksgiving meals or like Christmas parties, or they would take me to their cabins up north to the town, like countryside or something like that. So that was a very nice experience for me. And one of the officers, because it was in the program that's called Rotary Youth Exchange. It's basically owned by this Rotary club where people with a lot of money, or like a CEO of some company, or some people who are like really interested in volunteering and helping others. They would gather money from people, or they would do volunteers. And one of the things that they were doing was to raise money for those youth students, so that we can gain like a lot of international experiences in other countries. So they were basically paying us to be an exchange student there. I only had to pay the flight ticket.
Really?
Yeah. And also there was like this, it was optional, but there was like this East Coast tour where we rented this one big bus all together, and we were traveling from Minnesota to East Coast and go up to New York and then coming back to Minnesota for 2 weeks.
Nice.
So that was optional. We also had to pay for that, but otherwise, yeah, flight ticket and some like trainings in Japan, because I had the 1 year of training beforehand. But so it was a really nice program too. And in the beginning, because like I was getting really good grades in high school in terms of English, right? But I didn't realize I couldn't even speak or understand anything there. Like it was a huge shock for me, like much bigger than the culture shock that I had. And I was honestly like really sad about it and embarrassed about it, because I was kind of like, proud of myself getting like high scores and everything. Yeah, so first 3 months I would say was really hard for me, because in the beginning, because it was the public high school, people would know each other from even like kindergartners, right? So they would have like groups of people who were always together, and I couldn't make friends for first 3 months. And I wasn't in any of the sport teams because I was struggling to even find the school classroom and all the subjects, trying to figure out what they were talking about in the classes. So it was a struggle, but yeah, that was basically where I learned English.
So after 3 months, you started to like get things there.
Yeah, I mean, like
able to speak.
I wouldn't say I was like completely speaking English after 3 months, but I would say I slowly like started to be able to understand what people are saying and at least like respond to it a little bit in short words. And then yeah, so that was the beginning. Yeah. After
a year, what level were you in?
Oh, okay. So there was like this officer from the Rotary Club, and he told me to take TOEIC exam before going there and after coming back from there, so that I can see like how well I improved my English. I mean, it's a written exam and it's only like written in it, listening. So I wouldn't say like I could see how well I was speaking English beforehand, but I got 595 out of 990 before going there, and after coming back I got 935.
Wow.
But I remember I couldn't finish all the exams because there were like a lot of pages. Like yeah, there was no time for me to finish all the questions, but I got pretty good score. And that's one of the reasons why I could apply for this university.
Yeah.
Because I think they required me to have some kind of like English certificate even to apply for the university. Yeah. And that
Not
was
the agency?
I think the agency thing, but that was the only, score kind of thing for English that I had. So yeah. Sorry, I talked a lot, but that was a good experience. I still talk to my host families occasionally.
That's nice.
They were really sweet to me. They are still. Yeah.
Yeah, by hearing your story, I remember that I also had experience of going abroad and go to high school there. It was part of my high school program to go to Iowa for a month. And they hosted me and go to the same junior high and high school. It was in 7th grade and 10th grade. And I remember it was also a shock for me. I although I spoke English, but I used to speak with Japanese students or English teachers, not like English-speaking native friends.
Okay.
So it was really different from debating about science versus talking about TV programs and like
That's
you
true.
know.
Yeah, I still have that too because like the only English that I learned from being in the States, it was because the subjects that I was taking was like much easier than the one that I was taking in Japanese high school, right? So I was like, I learned how to speak English, I said, but it was mostly the conversation between friends, not about the academic stuff. It was about like, you know, oh, he's cute, or like it's like TV programs or like celebrity crush or something like that. So yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, that kind of experience cannot be learned just from studying or
Yeah.
reading books. And I felt like that's the problem of Japanese English educating system.
Yeah, I feel like so too. I mean, we do have a really good education system in general, but in terms of English, we lack the opportunity to be able to speak English in a class even. Yeah, so I agree with that. Yeah.
Okay, so
Anything else?
present situation?
Yeah, present situation in university. So we came to this university right after graduating from high school, right? Yeah.
In terms of English, right? I feel like my English is deteriorating.
Yeah?
Yeah, a lot. I think there's two reasons for it. One is Czech Republic is not English-speaking country as a first language, so their English is also not I don't want to say perfect, but it's, you know.
I mean, it's
Some
with
of
the
the-
Czech accent.
Yeah,
right?
with the Czech accent first, and some of the doctors or professors don't speak fluent English, so they speak with broken, like word-to-word kind of sentences. So I was exposed to that kind of Czech English, so my accent has changed a lot, and my fluency has also changed, I think.
Oh,
That's
okay.
one reason. Another reason is I have less time speaking like any language after entering university.
I mean, we do need
You know.
to study by ourselves most of the time, right?
Studying is mostly reading and writing, and yeah, classes, most of it was lectures, and even our first 3 years was in COVID period, so
That's true.
I didn't have much time to interact with friends, to speak English, so yeah. I don't feel like my English has improved in any direction, but it is enough to be able to communicate and study academic subjects, so I'm satisfied, but I will say I'm not perfect.
I mean, you
Still
don't need to be
improvement.
perfect though.
I was expecting to be perfect. I was expecting some improvement after entering universities abroad, but well, okay.
So it didn't match with your expectation before coming here. I mean, that makes sense. My perspective of being able to speak English changed actually after coming here, because I was studying in high school. I was in the US, which is a lot of people, most of the people speak like American native English, right? So I wanted to be able to be speaking English like that, like with an American accent, and like to be perfect, as you said. But after coming here, because like we have so many people with like different backgrounds, but we all speak English in terms of like discussing the topics that we are learning, and etc., right? So I feel like, if we can just communicate in some way, it's just enough for me. Yeah.
That's true. That's so true.
But I would say like I improved in some way, in a way that like I could explain academic stuffs in English to And I mean, I was supposed to, right, for the oral exam, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to pass the test. So, but I slowly learned how to explain logical stuff to friends or to professors or doctors. And that's, I think, in that aspect, I think I could improve myself a little bit. Yeah, I think so.
I hope we have improved in some extent.
Yeah. And our Japanese is obviously deteriorating now, so.
Yeah, even when we talk to each other, we talk in Japanese, but
you don't want to say it.
We use English terminology in between Japanese sentences because we cannot recall a Japanese vocabulary.
Yeah, especially like when we're talking about like stuff that we learn at university, because those medical concepts that we learn every day at school,
I know.
It's like the concept directly translated to English vocabulary terminology, right? We don't have the vocabulary in Japanese in our head. So, yeah, people say like we talk like Rugoshiba, the celebrity in Japan who speaks like us. Yeah, that's true. And like I keep forgetting like some Japanese idioms. Yeah, like I could think of like something that sounds close to it, but it doesn't, like something is different, right? Like every day it happens and we feel like that sounds, I know what you're trying to say, but like that sounds kind of different a little bit. What is it? Like we do this every day.
Yeah, literally every day.
It's crazy. We need to learn it again. And yeah, we both are going back to Japan after graduating from here, so at least we should be able to write in kanji.
Oh my god.
Especially diagnosis, probably.
Yeah, we talked about learning English for like 30 minutes and now we're facing how to learn Japanese.
Yeah, that's our biggest issue right now that we're having. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about?
No, it was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, we'll keep doing this. Yeah. Alternating maybe, like Japanese sessions, English sessions. So I hope you liked it. Let me know if you didn't like it. Or if you want us to keep doing these English sessions, we would love to do it as well, so that we can also improve our English. And I hope you guys could see that our English level, and everyone can study in English.
It's not about perfection, it's not about grammar, it's about communicating, understanding in other languages. No, not only in English, but so I think your perspective of seeing other world expands if you can speak other languages, and that's a really good thing about being at least bilingual. I would say we can really speak Czech, so like 2.3 lingo.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening.